Hey guys, welcome back. I'm EDC Gunner, and today I'm gonna talk to you about Breitling watches. And you know the story with me and Breitling watches. Uh, I never really liked them before I got one. Once I saw one in person, once I played with it, and I had a lots of joy from this watch. This is my first Breitling, the watch that made me love the brand and made me consider them twice because this is a Breitling crosswind as well, and you guys. I have a couple of videos on it so you can cross-reference it, but I expect not all people saw my all my videos, so I'm just gonna say before this watch, I never really thought much about Breitling except they were bling watches. And through watching Johnny Casual old videos, and he loves Breitling, and I got me getting this one and selling it and then buying it again. I really learned to appreciate the brand for everything that it stands for, and I think these older versions of Breitling, not all of them, but some of them older versions, are much more tastefully done compared to some of the versions from the past 10 years. But what I want to say at the end of the day, you really need to experience one and own one, not just handle one in the store and boutique to know, to learn, to appreciate, and to love it. So here today I have Breitling. This is from Windrider or Chronomat from Chronomat series, and both of these are. And this is a yachting Chronomat yachting, and it's a basically caliber 13 7750 Vaju base movement, and it's modified to have a 10-minute countdown timer, which is useful for sailing. And this watch is from the late 80s, mid 90s, but before that, I just want to go over briefly over the history and the brand because I really do enjoy a lot of Breitling watches, and both of these watches are nice and different at the same time. This is more of a tool watch, and whereas this one is more of a different respect of a Breitling. It's more blingy, but it's so subtly done and so beautiful. But I digress. So the history of the brand started in 1884, and you can read all about it on their websites, on Wikipedia. It's lots of information online, but they started with their Sun 65 AV co-pilot series, and 1953 brand added the first yachting version and Sun 65 yachting reference, and later on they followed the second one and more versions followed in the years, and the slightly bigger reference is 765 yachting from 1969, and later they changed the references, and those vintage models use the Venus caliber 178 movement, and they're quite cool watches. And then came the quartz crisis, and because of that, in the 70s, it almost led to the extinction of mechanical watches, and Breitling did launch some models with quartz movement, and unfortunately that couldn't keep the brand from getting financial problems, and lots of brands experience those troubles in the years, and it has a big history, and but talking after that from the 70s and 1989, the first Chronomat yachting is launched, and that's this watch here, and they were launched in 1989 and somewhere to the mid 90s. Breitling source says from the 1905. And Breitling source is a great reference for all Breitling watches, and these watches were launched with the 7750 movement, and like this one here, they were modified with a 10-minute regatta countdown timer, and Breitling describes this as a 10-minute countdown aperture with a double indication on the final minute before the start of the race. And me personally, I'm not gonna use it for that, and it's not. But I do think it's very cool to have it here, and it's very cool uh, to have that little pop of color on the dial, and especially like the orange and blue, light blue. It kind of looks super super interesting, and uh, I will give you, of course, and I'm gonna move this little here, my favorite Breitling. I'm gonna give you a little bit of a rundown of the watch. I will later on give you a wrist shot, but um, reference for these watches is 81950, and you can see here, and the model is B13047, and it's a really 100-meter water resistant watch, stainless steel case, brushed stainless steel case, beautiful case if I might add. My favorite cases are these two styles with the thin bezel, and they are so classy, and I like this thin bezel so much better than the modern fat big bezels. It's really something else, and both of these watches are this. You can see this one's a bit bigger, and this one here is diameter case size is officially on Breitling source, and on Breitling says it's 40.5 millimeters, and thickness is 14.7 millimeters. But looking online, I was looking eBay and other places, guys were selling this, and these go around $1,000. I got mine significantly less because it has a damage. It's damaged here. You can see the crown here. So, but other than the crown, other than replacing the crown on this crown here, I have no other things in it except maybe service. But that's it. You can expect to hunt one for around $1,000 US. Last time I checked on eBay, and price is always subject to change. You know that, guys. So it's really nice, but some of those sellers are measuring the watch for 39 millimeters, and that's if you take the bezel from here to here, it is 39 millimeters. But it wears and looks like a watch that's a 40 millimeter Breitling, and it's a decent size. I think this watch is so much better buy than some of the newer quartz Breitling quotes. Quote is a really nice watch, but some of them are 38 millimeters, and this one's so much better, so much nicer than that one, and I think it represents a great value. It's also a significant watch because it has that added chronograph module, but it's really something nice, and it looks like a tool watch. So this watch is like from the 90s, and you can see it has a double AR coating on the slightly domed sapphire crystal here. You can see like just like this one, but this one has such a nice coating that was well preserved that I feel like I can just use my fingers and pick these hands and touch the dial and everything. It's so cool, and Breitling does it the best in the industry. I never saw another watch brand that does this better than Breitling. Of course, it has a unidirectional bezel and turns very well. Now I have to turn it all the way in, but it's really no nonsense unidirectional bezel that very solid and firm, and it's even nicer than the bezel on this one. So take that. Uh, and yeah, they came in lots of different references. Some of them came solid gold, two-tone, steel versions, wide dials, and whatnot. But there are lots of varieties, and at the end of the day, I think this watch represents great value. It's beautiful, looks good. It has a brushed stainless steel case. It's not shiny like this one and like most modern watches. You can tell this was a tool watch, but it works so great. And my friend at first thought it's too small for him because he got used to my this big one, but I think it's not too small. I think it's just perfect. 40 mils in this case looks bigger, and it's really nice watch, and I cannot recommend this watch enough, especially for the money. If you are frugal, want to like to hunt on eBay or on other watch sites, and you wanna 750 base chronograph, uh, for around probably the price of Speedy reduced. I think this watch, I would wear this one much more than a Speedy reduced, because um, I have issue with reduced. It's not a move watch. That's why. And this one, as its watch of its own, it's really nice, and I love it. I love it. I just love it, and it's something that I can definitely recommend and suggest you take a look at it. So I'm gonna replace the crown. I'm gonna have to order a new crown, but that's pretty much it. It's gonna take a service. So I bought this watch a couple of days ago, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep it. That's just because I cannot afford to keep all my watches, and I'm kind of gathering funds for something, for other purchase. Other than that, if the money was not an issue, I would keep both of these watches forever, and I will definitely, even if I have to sell these watches, I will definitely get another one, and I'm gonna aim to have another Breitling in my collection. And I have especially soft spot for these Chronomats because they are such a nice watch, and this one is really affordable, and this is a proper tool watch. You can tell this is a proper tool watch, no nonsense watch. Has a bit slightly smaller case if you are got used to bigger Breitlings, but I reviewed the J class, which is also a yachting watch, but it's an example of those quartz versions, and this one is a mechanical chronograph, has that added complication with a 10-minute countdown timer, and I cannot tell enough good things on it. The band is aftermarket. This is a Hirsch strap. It's kind of dark blue, but it works with this watch. I think the original one was those bullet Breitling cases, and there's so many variations of these yachting watches. I think if you end up getting this watch, it represents great value for money, and it's a great buy. It's a good buy. You can see the patina here on the loom here. It's really nice, and yeah, just wanted to show you this watch here. I'm a DC Gunner, and do tell me in the comment sections, do you like this one, guys? You can see like there is no crystal in it. It's so beautiful, so beautiful. Do you own some Breitling watches, and which ones, and what do you say? Does this one works? I think it's just gorgeous, just gorgeous little tool watch, and for not that much of a money.